Monogatari is a literary form in traditional Japanese literature, an extended prose narrative tale comparable to the epic. Monogatari is closely tied to aspects of the oral tradition, and almost always relates a fictional or fictionalized story, even when retelling a historical event. Many of the great works of Japanese fiction, such as the Genji Monogatari and the Heike Monogatari, are in this Monogatari form. The form was prominent around the 9th to 15th centuries, reaching a peak between the 10th and 11th centuries. According to the Fūyō Wakashū, at least 198 Monogatari existed by the 13th century. Of these, around 40 still exist. Genres. The genre is subdivided into multiple categories depending on their contents. Denki Monogatari stories dealing with fantastical events. Teikatori Monogatari, Yutsubo Monogatari, Yaku Monogatari Keidankai. Yuta Monogatari stories drawn from poetry. Heike Monogatari, Ise Monogatari, Yamato Monogatari. Tsukurai Monogatari aristocratic court romances. Genji Monogatari, Hamamatsu ka Nagan Monogatari, Okikubo Monogatari, Sajoramo Monogatari, Torikebe Monogatari, Satsumi ka Nagan Monogatari, Yorunon Zame. Rikishi Monogatari Historical tales. Eiga Monogatari, Oekagami. Gunki Monogatari War tales. Gaikeki, Heiji Monogatari, Heike Monogatari, Hagen Monogatari, Soga Monogatari, Tomoiki. Setsua Monogatari anecdotal tales. Kanjaku Monogatari, Ushana Monogatari. Gaiko Monogatari pseudo-classical imitations of earlier tales. Matsura no Miya Monogatari, Sumiyoshi Monogatari. Modern fiction series. Modern literature, anime, light novels and manga also utilized this form, Bakemonogatari ghost story franchise. Hana Monogatari flowering story, Kabukai Monogatari slope story, Kazu Monogatari damaged goods story, Koyoma Monogatari Koyomi story, Koi Monogatari love story, Nikya Monogatari cat story, Nase Monogatari imposter story, Ani Monogatari demon story, Otora Monogatari decoy story, Awara Monogatari end story, Tsukai Monogatari evil spirit story, Zoko Wara Monogatari continued end story. Cinderella Monogatari Cinderella story, Gokinjo Monogatari neighborhood story, Gokuraku and Joshika Raya Monogatari the tales of Gokuraku and girls school dorm, Yaku Monogatari 100 stories, Perrin Monogatari story of Perrin, Pollyanna Monogatari story of Pollyanna, Teita Monogatari, a fantasized retelling of the history of Tokyo across the 20th century. Influence. When European and other foreign literature later became known to Japan, the word monogatari began to be used in Japanese titles of foreign works of a similar nature. For example, A Tale of Two Cities is known as Nita Monogatari, 1001 Nights as Senja Monogatari, and more recently The Lord of the Rings as Yubawa Monogatari and To Kill a Mockingbird as Arabama Monogatari. See also, Mumiyazashi, a 13th-century literary critique on monogatari, many of which are no longer extant, Fūyō Wakashū, a 13th-century collection of poetry from various monogatari sources, many of which are no longer extant, Kanjaku Monogatari, a collection of over 1,000 Heian period monogatari, of which 28 remain today. References: Frederick, Louis. Monogatari. Japan Encyclopedia. Cambridge, Massachusetts, Harvard University Press. Kubota, Junior Iwanami Nihon Cotton Bunjaku Jitan. Iwanami Shoten. ISBN 978-4-00-08031-0-6. Nihon Cotton Bunjaku Daitan, Kon Aikban. Tokyo, Iwanami Shoten. 1986. ISBN 4-00-080067-1.